Hello and welcome back to Between the Arcs. I'm your host this evening, The Horse, and joining me at the moment is none other than Hurls. How are you?
I'm really good, mate. Looking forward to tonight. We've got a special guest team reveal, and no one wants to miss this one.
No, he definitely knows what he's talking about. Young Petey, he's been stuck in traffic, we're led to believe, probably on the way back from St Kilda training again, Hurls.
Yeah, I think he was trying to prove a point that he gets out to St Kilda and watches some training, so I'm sure that's where he's coming from.
He got the happy snap with Lenny Hayes, didn't he?
He did. He was loving it there. He's in his finest as well. I mean, when I rock up to any training, I'm usually in my shorts and t-shirt and a hat. He was there in his suit with his very well dressed. Not sure the St Kilda guys would have known what was going on.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But today we are here to talk about Pete's team, but unfortunately Pete's not here yet. So we're just going to talk some SuperCoach dribble. I might even bring up my team on the screen with what I'm thinking about at the moment until Pete gets here. But if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, bell, hype, thumbs, all that sort of jazz. We love it. Love getting all those thumbs. It helps us, the Between the Arcs crew, get out to the rest of the AFL SuperCoach community. But also 5-star reviews help keep the lights on here with our audio stuff on Spotify, Apple, and all that good jazz. I reckon I might just share my screen, mate, until he gets here. What do you reckon?
Why not? Let's have a look. Have you been making many changes since when did we do your team reveal? It was probably about
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Any changes?
So, a couple. So I've been playing around with this kind of setup here, mate. So I'll go through the team for those that are listening on audio. Sinclair, Lockie Ash, Connor Rozee, Edwards, Sarong, Liam Jakes from Western Bulldogs, Lindsay, and Fincher from St Kilda. 3 primos, 3 rookies in my backline, and I'll get into why a little bit later on. And yes, I know Sinclair and Ash share the same bye. My midfield, Butters, Smith, Anderson, Steele, Hayden Young, Darcy Parish, Fingers, Will Brodie, Dyson Sharp, Jack Carroll, and Tynan Prindable. Thank you, Deadly. You put me onto this one and rate him. My rucks, Tristan Cherry. We'll talk about the smash rule a little bit later on, and Tim English. In my forward line, Sheasel, Sam Darcy, Sam Flanders, Mateus Philippe, Todd Marshall, Liam Reedy, Jager Smith in my flex, Lombard and Robertson on my bench. You got any questions with that, my good man?
I've got heaps, mate. There's heaps of different players here. I can't let you escape without starting with Fingers, our man Tanner Bruin. I've seen he's made an entry into your team.
Hasn't he?
What's going on there?
Just reading some training reports about how he's training as the inside midfielder, and he's the one feeding the outside. Kind of like it. So that's why he was recruited from GWS to Geelong, and we saw that he played it in little bits and pieces and then was pushed out to the wing a couple of years ago. And then that unfortunate circumstance that had him having the year off last year. But at $270K for an inside midfielder who you would think with an aging list and the likes of Bailey Smith and Maxi Holmes, who like to run and carry, they're going to need some inside talk. So you got your Tommy Atkins, who's probably more of a tagger than an elite ball winner. If Tanner Bruin can sort that out for himself, then happy days.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it. It's something different. A whole heap of rookies too, but I think our man of the hour might have just arrived. Horse, do we want to get Pete to come in and critique yours before we get stuck into him?
He needs to connect his mic and cam before we can let him in the studio. So,
there you go. That'll stop him. What about some of these rookies? So you spoke about Prindable, who Deadly's put you onto from Collingwood. You've also got Jarks that I haven't seen in many teams. You've got a few of these rookies that are probably not as common as many others. Talk to us about some of those.
Edwards, just going by preseason reports, and the great man that's just entered the studio. We'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later on. Sarong will be a cash generator. Jakes, a nice user of the ball of halfback, 6'2". They're talking about him taking over Lockie Carmichael's position at halfback for the Doggies. My rookies through the midfield haven't really changed. Tynan Prindable seems to be the one getting a lot of attention there at Collingwood. And then everywhere else, it is pretty much the same. But that's enough of my team, Hurls. We're here to talk to the great man, Pete from Nerds for Life, the man that gives out every bit of training information that he can find on the internet, including even going to St. Kilda trainings himself, regardless of what other people in the social media world might think. Pete, welcome to the show, mate.
Oh, I can't hear a thing.
I
can tell it's live and I can't hear a thing. Hang on, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What is going on? There's nothing.
We don't know.
Nothing. I've got nothing. Hang on. This is live. This is the best. Thanks for having me on, guys, by the way. This is great.
Well,
I'm really glad to be here for the first time this year. This is fantastic. You know, I should be dusting off the cobwebs. Obviously, the cobwebs have broken the headset. So give me about 5 seconds, and I'll be right back.
This is unreal, isn't it? Well done, Pete. Look at the way you stuck on the screen
television,
there too.
Live television, horse. What can you do? It's not much we can do about that. It's everyone is just hanging with bated breath. Look, we've got a few people in the chat, which is awesome. Hang on a second with us, guys. Pete is just fixing his headset. We'll be with you shortly.
Can you hear us, Pete?
SuperCoach insight to Pete. SuperCoach insight to Pete.
That's all right. Pearls, what do you think? What do you think of Sam Darcy? So I'm just flirting with the idea of having him in my side at the moment.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think there's a lot of hype around him at the Bulldogs preseason. You know, your match sims and those kinds of things. With due respect, he's playing on no one. We know that Bulldogs have got no defenders, but we know what Sam Darcy can do. I think he's going to be a top 6 forward. So I like the pick. Just whether you can sort of trust a key forward is probably your only risk, but I think he's a bit unique. He rucks a little bit. He's going to be a great pick. I reckon Pete can hear us now. He was giving us a bit of a thumbs up there. He's listening in. Good on you,
He's
Pete.
good now.
Welcome.
I'm here. I don't know what happened. Honestly, it's the first time I fired up the PC since 2025, and it started about as good as my SuperCoach season ended last year. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
So we're flying.
We're flying. We're doing great. We're doing amazing. Thanks for having me, guys. I know that I said that before, but I couldn't hear your reactions. It's good to be back. It's been a long time. Too long, actually. But it is good to start talking about SuperCoach in 2026. But I don't want to interrupt too much. Continue with your team. I want to see.
We were doing the world's best filler here, Pete, and we were just trying to wait for you. We want to hear, before you give us your team, sorry if I take over just for a second, Horse. You are probably second to none on Twitter of track watchers, gathering all the track watching, pulling all the information from relevant track watchers together for us. You put that out every week. What are you seeing around the traps? Maybe give us a couple of snippets out of all of the track watch reports that you've seen that are maybe influencing a bit of your SuperCoach strategy this year.
So that's interesting, because I see a lot, and I feel like because I follow a lot of people which give me a lot of information. Sometimes they'll send me messages while they're at the ground, and I'll ask them how things are going. It also means that I'm overloaded with information. So to be honest, my watch list is just huge because of that. It can actually be quite distracting. What I like to look for are the players, for me, how are the players tracking that I think are keepers? What is the role that they're having? Is it a role that I like? And is anyone going to take points away from them? So, for example, my D1, which we'll get to, I don't think anyone's going to be taking points away from this person because of what we've been seeing during the match simulations. And if we look at the back half, and it's probably a hint, by the way, if we look at the back half of their season, of this guy's season, last year, you're going to see what his scoring was like. And I can see that really continuing in 2026. So I think that's how I like to look at all that information. It's not necessarily, the breakouts are great. Yes, it's good to see some flying players like mid-prices, of course, like a Hayden Young, for example, right? But But at the same time, I'm also looking at the kind of the vanilla guys and seeing how they're doing. That's what I really want to see from these match simulations. Nine Richmond players. Sorry, mate. There's only 8.
What we might do, Pete, because your internet reminds me of my teenage days dialing up to MSN Messenger and talking till 12 a.m. in the morning. Do you want to cancel your share screen? And what we'll do is you can read us your team. I'll share my screen, mate, and you can tell me who you've got in your side, and we'll create the team for everyone here at home.
I do like that. In all fairness, it is. I am still on a dial-up, modem. I do have to connect the house phone back in after this, so thanks for reminding me. So now this is D1. So this is the guy that I was just talking about. Mr. Jack Sinclair, 606K. I know most of the community is jumping onto his teammate, but I just see value in him still. He's cheaper, same team. I can't see any points being taken away from him. Nasai's moved to a midfield, and that just means more points for someone like Sinclair. I'm kind of going against the grain a bit. I think his ownership's, is that 5%? It is 6%.
6%.
So,
yes.
So I'm really keen on this pick. I needed some point of differences. As soon as I was able to see the ownership numbers for my SuperCoach team, I realized that my team was so vanilla. It was insane. And that immediately made me trade half my players out. And I've just gone, no, I need to have a difference. I need to do something. Sometimes that is good, and sometimes it backfires massively. By the way, I saw someone in the comments talk about where my socks are. I do have them. They're currently dangling above my bed in my bedroom. So just so you're aware that they are there, but I need to look at them at all times. And that's where they are. And you think I'm joking?
My socks too, Pete. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only weird one. D2. D2. Callum Mills, another POD. Another guy that I see huge upside, especially at the price of 538K, right? If you click on him, 2% owned. If you click on him, I just want to show you something. Now, I know the score was in 2022, but his second last game against Hawthorn is a massive 214. I know that is a very different player and a very different role, but we saw what Mills was able to do at the back half of last year when he got... Yeah, that's juicy. When he got into that halfback role, I had both Mills and Roberts, so I was happy on one end and sad on the other end. So now I just see that role continuing, and I see the scores being pretty good too. And at 530K, if you get a top 6 to 8 defender, you've kind of done well, I think. Number 3, my D3 is someone that's been in and out of my side, but after Charlie Combin's comments last week, Colby McKercher is in the team. I like how I said Charlie Combin and you went straight to Colby McKercher before I said 100%. His name.
Yeah.
In that role, absolute gun. You can't pass him up. Look, I kind of wish North were playing opening round so I can make sure the roles, I could see it in an AFL game. But I think at this point in time, you just got to back him. D4, so another interesting one, not so much a POD anymore, and that is Bergman. So I've gone with Port Adelaide have a good draw. It's no secret they have a great draw early on, and he looks like he's going to be a bull in that midfield. I can see some good tackle numbers. I believe he averaged 108 from his midfield games last year. So that's, if you accumulate all the games where he got bulk CBAs, he averaged 108 in that role, and he's been training as a pure midfielder. And if he's not, that's fine. I think he'll score well enough against the teams that he's up against early on, so I can ditch him if need be. But at the moment, he could be a top 8 defender if he holds that role.
Have a look at this, Pete. Already better than Horse's team. You're winning them over already. Who's your D5 and D6, mate?
It doesn't matter. I've beaten you apparently, so that's fine. I'm going to go with 2 rookies. These are placeholders for the moment. David Taylor and is that Josh Lindsay? Josh Lindsay from West Coast and Melbourne. I think with my God, what's his name? Oh, the Melbourne halfback that's injured. Oh my God, I forgot his name.
Bowie.
Thank you. With him injured, I can see some players going through there and hoping Xavier Lindsay takes that spot. And Xavier Taylor. Josh Lindsay's numbers in last year's the junior league, really impressive. So if you could bring that to SuperCoach, yeah. Then I'm going to go with my first Tiger, 1 of 8, Josh Kipkis on the bench. And then Jai Sarong. I'm ready to be heard again. This is what I don't even know how many times I've selected Josh Kipkis in the last 4 years.
Even SuperCoach know that picking Richmond players is a thumbs down.
It's got a point. It's got a point, but I'm still doing it. As I said, I'm ready to get hurt. And Jai Sarong, if he gets a game, he's going to be pretty good.
Absolutely.
Now,
before we get into your midfield, mate, shout out to our sponsor of the show, Bradley Constructions and Stromcrete, both exceptional people behind the scenes that do a power of work for the people in the state of Victoria. Their link to their websites will be in the description below. Let's get into your midfielders, mate.
Okay. So, as you can see, you don't have to scroll too much. You don't have to type too much. It is Mr. Zach Butters. He's number 1 on the list right there. He is my M1. He is probably the only player, one of the only players, I'd say, that has not. He was the first player I picked, and he has not even moved once from that spot. So just lock him in. Noah Anderson is my M2. Annoying buy because he has 2 buys before most teams even have 1 buy, which is really fun to note. But I'm still picking him because his 5 to 6 games at the start of the year, I think, will be worth it, and he'll make up the points. Fingers crossed. We're going to go with Caleb Sarong at M3. 571K, kind of a down year for him. So if 105 is a down year average, this guy should really bounce back. His AFL numbers were elite. He still made the All-Australian team for the third year running, I think, or at least second year running, and he looked good AFL-wise. It just wasn't converting to scoring in SuperCoach, which is weird because he was doing all the right things for it to convert to SuperCoach. I think the ceiling is there. I think Freo is going to be a lot better, and Hayden Young being in the side should, in theory, alleviate some of the pressure for him, and he might be able to get some outside footy as well. Speaking of Hayden Young, he is my M4. Look, he's been in and out of my team. I've said some stuff on Twitter. People have been mad at me. I still stand by it. I'm not 100% sold on the pick. Yes, he's done it 1 year, but it was from a role where he started in the half-back line, moved to the midfield, still looked good enough. If the body holds up, he should be good, but he's not a keeper. Absolutely not. Not in my eyes at all. He's not a keeper. He's a cash cow. He's an expensive rookie. And Freo, no buy. So that's good. He should hopefully average 90, 95, and that's a win. The next guy is Horse, is the first bomber that I'm going to pick, and unfortunately not the last. Darcy Parish is next.
Good boy.
Now, this guy, I'm not kidding, I actually brought back into my side just before I joined this, okay? I brought him in again. He's been in and out. He's just flying at the moment. He looks good. We know what he can do. I know his career best season in 2021 is a while ago, but even if you look at his 22 numbers and 23 numbers, they're fine. They're good. It's just that he doesn't stay on the field for long enough. If he plays 10 games, 8 games, if he plays 6 games, right, and averages 95 in that time, 100, which is definitely more than capable of doing, you've made your cash. Enjoy your time. You know, he covers you through the buys. Who else are you going to pick at that price range? My other option, I have to admit, was either I combined both of those guys and just go all primo. And the reason I think that is because there's a part of me that just wants to start all the players that I want to finish with. So maybe just bite the bullet and go Nick Dacos, even though I don't think his early draw is going to be very good. But I know that I want him. So instead of chasing him throughout the season, I've already got him. So I'm one step ahead of everyone else that wants him. So I'm kind of tossing up that strategy. Already lost. Thanks. Then we got Willem Dersma, the number 1 draft pick. Have to pick at the number 1 draft pick. Surely he plays. He should have some sort of outside role and get some cheap ball. And then we're going to go with, by the way, my team name is Grilled Chicken, and that is because Samuel Grilled is in the team. DPP killing it in the match simulations. This kid's going to be an absolute freak.
I know you're a Richmond man and you've been down to trainings and stuff, Pete. Is he as good as advertised? Because we hear a lot of really positive news about this grill bloke or the barbecue. Is he as good as advertised, or is there a bit of mayo on top given that it's pre-season, or are you genuinely excited to see this guy play?
I don't think any Richmond fan or anyone from Richmond has ever been, overly optimistic about a player ever. So it's all legit. It's all real. I think this kid's some sort of divine being that we've picked up, and he's going to be incredible from day dot. Obviously, that's what I'm reading on Twitter, and it's what I've seen. And until he plays his first game, prove me wrong. But I actually think he's going to be pretty good. He does look the real deal. He's very fast, can run all day. He's a bit aggressive too. So I like that he can get his own footy. I'm not saying the kid's going to average 100, but he should still be a good pick. And with DPP, I really do like it. He's playing halfback as well, so he should get some cheap ball. If he can get some kick-ins, could do well. My next pick will continue is someone who is about 80K cheaper than last year or 70K cheaper than last year. Huge ownership, and that is Jaeger Smith. Going up against Richmond first up, that's at least probably an 80 score. Kid's a ball magnet. Should be 180. Good. Just pick him. 180. Just pick him. I don't think he'll score 180 in a losing side though. So honestly, I rank. You know what? Honestly, there are 4 games. My 4 all-time favorite games as a Richmond fan is number 1, 2017 Grand Final. Number 2, 2020 Grand Final. Number 3, 2019 Grand Final. Round 1, Carlton Richmond 2025. Top 4 games. I've watched that game more times than the Grand Finals, by the way.
Really?
It was amazing. Oh yeah, it was just fantastic.
We have something in common, Pete. I enjoyed that game immensely as well.
Hurls just loves it because he likes watching Carlton lose.
Absolutely, I loved it.
It had everything. It literally had everything an AFL fan could love, unless you're a Carlton supporter. Maybe it didn't. Next, we got our last bomber for now, and thank God, Dyson Sharp is 149K. Kid looks bigger than me, and he's about half my age. And then after that, we've got Sid Draper. Interesting one. I'm not 100% sold on him, but he hasn't trained with the main group at all over summer. But with the injuries that Adelaide have in that midfield, if he's fit to play, I think he plays. And then Will Brodie. He's next. Again, it's kind of a rookie placeholder. Do have my concerns about him. Is he actually in the best 22? I don't know. Or is he just someone that's going to play 2 games and then as soon as Ollie Wines is available, he is out of the team? That's kind of what I'm hoping doesn't happen because that would be annoying.
We got, what's his name?
Will Brodie.
Will Brodie.
Will Brodie. Hey, question while Horse is finding Will Brodie for you, Pete. Hear a lot about barbecue, Sam Grill. I hear nothing out of the preseason of Sam Cumming. And in their junior years, I was more hot on him, I think, in terms of how his game would translate to SuperCoach than the barbecue himself. So is there something, like, is he not training? Why is there no hype on Sam Cumming?
I read an article, actually, funnily enough, today about him, and let's just say it excited me to the point where I was pretty close to him. I was about to say pretty close to doing what his last name is. He had a really good game, a really good match sim. Apparently, it was one of best on ground. I think it was. I can't remember. It was earlier this week. I'm pretty sure. That's Monday, so it would have been Monday. So yeah, that he looked really good. Apparently, I did watch a training session with him. Kid's got skills. I don't know if you saw a tweet from David King a couple of weeks ago calling all the Richmond rookies Ferraris. I was at that session.
Nine Ferraris, apparently. Nine
Yeah.
Ferraris.
I
David
reckon
King was
he was
also
up there.
drunk and stoned.
And he still had good taste. He looks good. He looks good. He is more of a midfielder, from what I can see, he's more of an inside midfielder. I think him and Taj Houghton, hopefully they get more ball time, but there's a few names ahead of him still. I think he'll be pretty good, definitely in the long run. But Grilled Chicken is just performing just a little bit better at the moment, and that's why all the hype's been around him.
He's gonna have 30 nicknames, this kid, isn't he? The Chicken, the Barbecue, the Sizzler. He's got them all. What a name!
I like the Sizzler actually. I'm anticipating.
I used to like Sizzler too. That's why I'm the size I am. I'm anticipating a really expensive ruck line coming up here, Pete.
Before we move on to ruck line, Pete,
it's all there.
Maybe with his rookie contract, he can buy a vowel in his surname too. But anyway, let's move on.
That was a good one. So R1.
There's some feedback for your horse.
So I was impressed by it. That's all. Look, R1. We're going to go with Liam Reedy.
What?
Love it.
He's R3. So R3, Liam Reedy, and we got Tristan Cherry and Tim English as the first two ruckmen. I don't think I can go into a season without Tristan Cherry again. I did it last year and regretted every second of it. So I'm not going to do it again. No buy. I know that he's probably going to drop some cash. Maybe he drops a little bit of scoring. I still think he's probably going to end up being the best ruckman in the competition by season's end. So I may as well just pick him anyway. Tim English, I think, is going to benefit from the ruck rules. My logic is this kid as a junior was a midfielder. He was a talented midfielder. And then he just got really tall. And now he's a ruckman. But he still plays kind of like a tall, strong midfielder. So I just think that he'll be able to get to a lot of those contests still that some of the ruckmen might miss. Because the umpires aren't waiting for those ruckmen anymore. So maybe that benefits him if he's going, if he's playing Collingwood and then he has to go up against someone like, Bo McCreary in a ruck contest. That's pretty good. I reckon there's some cheap points to be won there. So annoying that he's got the early bye, but he is my only dog. So I'm going to stick with that one for now. And he's consistently a pretty good player. F1, we could probably pick it. It is Harry Sheasel, the cheese. I love him. I can't believe he's a forward. 70% owned. Honestly, that's about 40% too little. He should be in every single person's side. And if he's not, what game are you playing? Because he's no buy. He's playing midfield. If he's not playing midfield, he should be able to get the 40. Early draw is really good too. Then we've got another highly owned players. Gets pretty vanilla from here. Sam Flanders is next. I was at the St Kilda's training session, despite some people saying that I wasn't. I definitely was. On X, man, I got grilled for that. I got Sam grilled for that. But he looked good. He's playing midfield in that role. He's gone there for CBAs in that role. He also has been rotating a little bit across halfback, but of course that's to rest. Either way, he's playing in a primary ball movement position. Just pick him. He should average 100. Next. Now, this is my ball. I don't think I can go into a season without him. I think if he's fit, he's just going to be in my team moving forward for the next 15 years. I don't care. It is Dustin Martin 2.0, Sammy Layla, or Lawler. Sam Lawler. 298K. I don't care. This is the Richmond Nuffy coming out. It's fine. You can see, so over here, Richmond, obviously, it's clear. He's getting more midfield time. He actually looks really good. I watched him at training. The kid looks good, like genuinely. But also, this is kind of a risky pick. More for me, more for fun. Who else am I picking in my forward line?
Hey, I hate Richmond and I've got him too, mate, so I don't mind the pick at all.
You got to have some fun. You got to have some. What was his ownership horse, actually? Can you get it there really quick? I just want to know.
Stand by. Sammy Lawler.
Can't see it being high.
He's at 21%.
How is he more highly owned than Jack Sinclair? He's more highly owned than.
I think what you'll find is all the
me.
early Treloar buyers have now jumped off Treloar onto Sammy Lawler.
I thought so because he was definitely 2% owned when I put him in the team. 100% 2% owned when I put him in the team. Anyway, so it turns out my POD is just a vanilla pick. So there we go. We got Mateus Philippou next. Kid looks good, playing midfield. He'll rest forward. Sure. Should be good enough to at least, I don't think he'll be a keeper, but he should make cash. We know what this kid can do. Look at the back half of 2024 when given that role. St Kilda's midfield does look a little bit different compared to back then. So there is that. They have got a lot of new recruits for that midfield. So how much midfield time will he realistically get? Probably not that many, but it should still be fine. Next is Todd Marshall. Now, I had a list, okay? I had a list for 2026 that began in the preseason of 2025, okay? Number 1 was Nick Newman, who's not even in my team right now because he got an injury. And then number 2 was Todd Marshall. I thought, no one's going to pick Todd Marshall. No one's going to pick him. He's going to be the weirdest pick ever, right? I was talking about him in I think I made an October video of guys to watch over the preseason. And now he's owned by 26% of the competition. And I just can't believe it. And that's because he's got that defensive role and it's been all over everywhere. So, I think we were talking about this, Hurls. It was why do we bother doing all the preseason research? We should just watch what the ownership numbers are and just pick our teams.
If you're following me on Twitter, I put up the January 29th cookie cutter team up the other day. And it was bloody good. It was a really good team. And we did say, why do we do all this bloody research and analysis when this team's pretty good? You don't even have to watch 1 second. But we still love it.
Still love it. And you won't be able to pick any pods that way anyway. Dev Robertson number is my F6. Then we're going to go with Leonardo Lombard, the Ninja Turtle. Just because that's Leonardo, obviously. 25% owned. Good draw early on. The Suns have lost about 5 players from their best side, and I think Lombard jumps in there.
For sure.
And then Finlay McRae, because why not? Another player that I'm ready to get hurt on. Again, 45% owned, mid-forward.
We've got some money to spend in the flex, Petey.
I do.
You must have $1 million left over, have you?
No. I've only got about 30K after my flex position. Before I get to that, I just want to point out that I still don't see a world where both Dev Robertson and Finlay McRae are good picks. I think one of them will be the guy that gets the bulk CBA and the other one will get some weird half-forward role. So I'm probably not picking both. Just going to put that out there. Okay, wait to see how the team actually looks.
And before you get to your flex, the flex position is brought to you by Ryan from Astute Newstead. Use the promo code INSIGHT or even Between the Arcs for all your residential and home loan needs. He will draw you up a free quote if you're looking at buying a house, a pool, a basketball court, whatever it is that you might be, or just looking to refinance. Ryan is your man.
Okay. I'm going to do a drum roll. This guy's been mentioned in the chat about 8 times.
It actually sounded like you dropped your computer then rather than a drum roll.
Ironically, I actually did drop my computer earlier today. This is probably why it didn't work leading up into this. So there we go. With this guy I mentioned in the chat many times, he was one of my first picked players. Hasn't left the side. I just moved him into the flex because of DPP, so he can cover 2 lines, and that's Connor Rosie, like you are highlighting as well. Easy draw, playing halfback, and if he's not playing halfback, he's playing inside mid. So I'm happy either way. You just got to pick him. It's purely there so I can have a couple of options to move him around during the buys, and that is my team. Feel free to roast me. There's no Goulden. Yes, I'm aware. I'm picking Mills, and I don't want to pick both. And I just see Mills having that cheap kind of halfback role where he gets kick-ins, plays on. Goulden, I think, still a good pick. I think he's a great pick. He's a viable pick. He's been killing it all summer. I could still end up with him. As I said, I was contemplating, merging Young and Parrish into one player, and I could end up being Goulden. But at the moment, I just think that my side just looks better this way, personally.
Yep.
I don't think that I won't end up with Goulden, just not right now. Not right now. Needs more Richmond players. Couldn't agree more. I've had Cumming in the team. I've had Rashedko in the team. I've had Taranto in the team. That a lot of Richmond players in the team. There will be more. There will be more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pete's team from the back line, if you're listening to us on audio, Jack Sinclair, Callum Mills, Colby McKercher, Miles Bergman, Xavier Taylor, Josh Lindsay, Josh Gibkiss, and Jai Sarong. Through the midfield, we've got Zach Butters, Noah Anderson, Caleb Sarong, Hayden Young, Darcy Parish, Willem Dersma, Barbecue Chicken, Give Me a Vowel, Samuel Grill, Jaeger Smith, Dyson Sharp, Sid Draper, and Will Brody. The Rucks, Tristan Cherry, and Timothy English with Liam Reedy on the bench. Harry Sheasel, Sam Flanders, Sammy Lawler, Dusty Martin 2.0. This Richmond Nuffy thinks. Mateus Philippou, Todd Marshall, Devon Robertson, Lombard and McRae on the bench with Connor Rosie in the flex. Petey, do you want to get through to some comments and questions, mate?
Let's do it.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
Should have probably told you there was a soundbite.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I just want to. Can I just answer one question, like super bluers, really quickly about the no Brisbane players?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? Just because I really wanted to. No Brisbane players. I know Brisbane are the highest scoring team. They've also got a round 2 bye. Dunkley, I would pick Dunkley if he was fit, 100%. Not sold on anyone else just yet.
Facts are Brisbane were the second highest team. Adelaide were, in fact, the highest scoring Supercoach team last year.
There we go.
Let's go through some comments. Scorched Earth, our brother from New Zealand. How you doing, mate? How do you say it over there? Kia ora? Is that how you say hello? Maybe I fucked it up. Who knows? Is McKercher's role nailed down yet?
Man, ask Al Clarkson. I have no idea. It's probably nailed down right now, but let's wait for round 5 or 6. We're north of 0 and 0 and 6.
Yeah. We talk about Richmond having 20 Ferraris. Essendon have 20 1998 Hyundai Excels.
Hyundai Excels don't break down. Essendon do.
That's
not true at all.
I'm pretty sure that was a good car too, actually.
Agree. That wouldn't have had so many bloody injuries as we had last year. I'll give you the tip.
I'll tell you what, you put a couple of subwoofers in that and put some mag wheels on it, some fluffy dice, you can get 100 Ks to the 4.6 litres or whatever it might be. Fully sick, bro. Anyway, Ben has got Hayden Young at M5. Thomas Jack, again, this team is already better than horses. How does lick me where I do other things do?
If you're listening on audio, that means...
Ben says he would rather the Lizard over Mills. There's definitely merit for that.
Yeah.
Global. Darcy is a lock for me just because I think he's a freak and has a huge ceiling. He is in for a big year, isn't he, Big Sam Darcy?
Dude kicked 11 goals in a match simulation. Honestly, the kid's going to be so good. But is he going to be as good as Waller? I don't know. Don't think so. Probably not.
Pete, being the accumulator of information that you are, Connor Buderick, we've got Budderwick here from Trippin. He is impressing those down at the Western Bulldogs with his talk and being a senior member in that back line. We've seen in the past that he hasn't really been able to nail down a spot, especially recently with the Gold Coast Suns. Do you think there's a world where at 250-odd K in our forward lines, he could be someone that could average us 80, or do you think there's too much risk there?
I'm just going to answer this with one word. Bevo.
Okay, let's move on. Sid Draper joined the main group at training yesterday. Love to hear it, Chris.
Missed that one. Good to know. He's now a lock.
Pistol Pete. Pistol in the forward pocket, Hurls.
Can you imagine Pistol in the forward pocket? Jeez, it'd look good.
I'll give you
Not
this
sure
one,
he'd touch it.
Hurls, because we were talking about this off air before we jumped on.
We
What are your
were.
thoughts on McCluggage this year?
I love the suitcase. He is so underrated. He's got, I think it was 2% ownership the other day, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a great pick. I personally I've got one midfield spot that is going to go to either McCluggage or Baz. And I can't go both because they're both on the round 2 bye. I've got one spot for them. And at the moment, Baz is just in front on early fixture. That's the only thing separating them for me. But I love the pick. If you like McCluggage, you can make it work.
I rate it.
I agree.
Sorry, Pete.
I agree. Their draw is pretty good too, actually. I mean, it's Brisbane. They're the best team in the competition for the last 2 years. But if you go look at some of their... Who are they playing? Because I'm pretty sure they actually have a pretty favourable draw, but it's after their bye, so you could wait. And that's why he's not in my team. Just going to take a quick squiz.
I think it's a good call, Pete. I think if you were umming and ahhing a little bit, McCluggage has got Geelong in round, is it 3 or 4, I think, from memory?
Geelong
no, they don't play him early. No,
10,
they don't play Geelong early.
10.
That's okay. I was looking for a tag, maybe Sydney round 1, maybe.
So it's
Sydney round 1.
So it's Sydney
but
round 1.
They have got an okay draw, though.
Yeah, it's Sydney round 1, St Kilda round 3. So you've got 2 tags in the first 2 games. So you've got Gordon and Windhager. That's tough. After that, opens up. So that's when it's time to jump on.
Yeah. Trippin wants to know, Pete, what are your thoughts on Wardlaw?
I think there's just as much risk with him as there is a Hayden Young and a Darcy Parish. The only difference is he doesn't have the history. He's got a month history of good scoring, while the others have seasons of good scoring. So I'm going to take the seasons.
Yeah.
Still could be a breakout season. It could be really good. Don't get me wrong. Don't not pick him because of me. But I think the other guys are proven.
Is this the year, Hurls, that the fridge, Joel Frazier, breaks out?
Well, Pistol hopes so, because I just traded him in our keeper league for pick 17 and a few bits and pieces. I think Fridge is going to be a really, really good player at some point. I personally think that will be after Bont and Libba are no longer the 2 main men. And even though Libba's, we say it every year, he's 1 concussion away and all of that, but he keeps playing. While those 2 are there, though, I think Fridge is going to be capped a little bit. But once he's got free reign in that midfield to play more like 60% CBAs, then I think that's Fridge season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be a year short. I think it might be next year, not this year.
Yeah, I agree. Before we get into a couple more questions, comments, lads, our Unlimited League is free to join, ladies and gentlemen. 436-783. I repeat, 436-783. It is free to enter. If you win, $250. If you're a Patreon subscriber, we're going to double it. $500 in your pocket, cash. That's basically if you join the league and you're a Patreon subscriber. If you want to be a Patreon subscriber, you get access to weekly Q&As, exclusive articles and shows each week. Our weekly teams and trades, direct one-on-one support morning, noon, and night. Positional rankings and analysis, and a subscriber-only league where you win a bunch of free shit again for free. So I've actually had to think about it, Hurls, and it's not a third of a cup of coffee per week anymore. You can subscribe for less than a schooner of beer per month.
There you go. I wouldn't know, but that's cheap.
Yep. And while we're at it, Sloaney's just emptied my DMs. He's in Cleveland, Ohio, and he wants to let Pistol know that he wants you to stop DMing him, Pistol, with pictures of you making bread.
That's random, but okay.
Very random. It's an inside joke.
Can I ask Pete a question before we wrap up? I'd love to get your. Oh, well, I'm going to ask anyway. I'd love to get your rationale, Pete. You got a bit of a mid-price madness going in there in the back line with McKercher and Bergman. What are you wanting to see out of them to say that they're successful picks to go both of those blokes?
To show, well, that's fair. That is actually fair. I think both could be keepers. And that's what I want to see from them. If I'm starting a guy that's in the early 400K mark and they end up being top 8 keepers, potentially, or at least push for a top 10, I'd be pretty happy with that. McKercher, I could see being a top 6 if he holds that role. Bergman is the riskier pick. But again, it's one of those guys where if it doesn't work out, he'd probably be my last luxury upgrade anyway. And I can't see him dropping cash. He could probably hover, maybe make a little bit. It's a good role. It's a good role at the moment. It looks good. But if he doesn't show some pretty good signs come the practice match, he's probably not going to make the team. And I can move him on to... Thing is, we're just talking about, Brisbane after the round 2 bye, right? That gives me... It gives me a solid, what are we looking at? A couple of weeks before any of those Brisbane players move up in price. If he doesn't look good in those couple of weeks, sort of like a Perryman last year, move him on to one of the Lions boys.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fair call.
I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do us. But before we go, Pete, on behalf of our Between the Arcs community, thank you for dusting the cobwebs off your computer and the headset and finally finding some stable Macca's Wi-Fi to get you through the show tonight.
Thank you. I am hotspotting off the Macca's up the roads. I'm glad that's worked. No, thanks for having me. It's been great. I look forward to a big year, and I want to jump on a few more times. 100%. Everyone in the chat's hilarious too. I'm loving this, by the way. Some of these comments.
It's fantastic. We've got a good community here, Pete. But before you do go, where can the people at home find you? If you're not subscribed to Nerds for Life on YouTube, first of all, why aren't you? Because this guy is one of the best when it comes to preseason content. But where can people find you, Pete?
So it's Nerds for Life, the number 4 SC on pretty much anything. So whether it be TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, OnlyFans, YouTube, Spotify, it's the same name. Facebook is where I post a lot of the stuff, as well as Twitter, Instagram. I'm on all of them. You can whichever social media floats your boat, just go for it.
100%. We do a lot of work together with Pete. So if you're looking for the man, you will find him with us, or Facebook, as he just said, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, it's X now. Sorry, Gen Z. It's X, Instagram, and all good platforms, social media platforms. But for tonight, OnlyFans too. Let's get around it. That's where you'll find Hurls anyway.
Free content only. Only.
Yeah. You'll just get plenty of hate on Carlton on his OnlyFans. So join up today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do us. Thank you to Pete for joining us. Tomorrow night, we are back. We're back with another team reveal. Normally, I'll leave you hanging, but tonight I won't. It's another good mate of ours, rookie coach. He's jumping on at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and he's going to be providing us his team reveal. He's been down to the Cattery a little bit and watched training firsthand, and he's got a bit of information that, along with Pete, he's copped firsthand by being in attendance. So if you want to hear that and a whole lot more, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here on YouTube, that's where you'll find us. But for tonight, we're out. Take care, and we'll see you then.